got off to a little bit of a slower start tonight than last night, but really turned it up as the game went on. How were you able to sort of ratchet up the pressure as the game went on?
Well, I think the boys realized they weren't engaged in the battle in the first period. Um, I went in there and reminded them of that, but it was that simple. And then I thought the second and third we did great. We played hard. Um, Unfortunately, their winning goal was on a too many men on the ice. It was just a mental mistake on our part, obviously. But lots to like about the second and third. What's eluded us, especially in league play, is that 60 minutes, right? We've had a couple periods here, a period and a half there, one period here, and you're just playing people that are just too good to be doing that. It's got to be 60 minutes. That's coach speak. It's cliche, but it's true. And people will take advantage. You take an undisciplined penalty, which is part of our objectives, part of our process, ends up in your net. You lose 2-1 because of that goal. Now, with that being said, you're not going to win many series when you score 2 goals over the course of 2 games. That's just not good enough. However, you know, 15 shots in the second, or 15 shots in the third, and 15 shots in the second. We'll take that all day. So I think it was just the boys knew that wasn't who they were in the first period, and we responded.
You mentioned scoring 2 goals, but your goaltender and your defense and back checking did a pretty good job of putting you in an opportunity to
100%.
be right in those games. And what can you say about?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, we gave up 1 last night, 2 tonight, both on the power play. I mean, over the course of the weekend, I think they had 1 power play goal last night. So all their goals were power play goals. And we knew their power play was really good. And outside of the too many men, I don't think we were undisciplined, which we have been, which we've talked about. It's hard. It's hard to win in this league. It's hard to win in college hockey. And that's the message to our kids. I don't love after the game lessons. But we talked real brief that, now we're getting challenged a little bit mentally in terms of the trust, where I think in the past we've started to lose trust because the results don't say it. But I hope that we've seen enough, we being our program, that when we play right, we're pretty good and we can be a handful. We just have to play right more of the time.
Seemed like in the second period and then in the third, at a necessity, you changed up, you shorthanded a little bit. You changed up the lines a bit, and that almost felt like it turned up. You guys found another gear after that point when kind of shuffling things up. Was it trying to test things out and see what was going to work?
Yeah. The only thing coaches, and any coach knows in this sport anyway, the only thing coaches can do is change things up, mix and match. We went back to the lines that we played with last night. Unfortunately, Red got banged up there, and we gave Barbolini a bunch of ice because he's somebody that drives things when he's right, which I thought he was. But everybody just up there. It didn't matter. We would have kept the lines the same. It would have been, I think, the same type of results over the course of the next 2 periods. We just played harder. We were more engaged in the battle. That's that simple.
Looking forward to next weekend. Big road trip. It's a tough place to play. It seems like the mental makeup of the team's able to put this weekend behind them. But what can you do to continue to help them put this behind and focus on that next game?
I think all we can do is continue to talk about it, continue to stress process, and continue to stress that we have to look at things in the small picture. And the small picture is today. Yesterday's over with. Leave tomorrow right there. We don't have to think about Friday night now. We'll leave it right there. I know that's easier said than done. For adults, for 20-year-old boys, it's easier said than done. But that's where we are. That's where we've been. And we have to stay there. Because the last thing we can afford is to start to lose trust now because of results. The process can be better. We'll focus on that, which is every day.
Thomas, a little bit of a slow start in the first period, but you guys turned it up in the second and the third. What was the difference between the first going into the second and third?
I think a lot of it was just kind of our mental side of things. We just started off slow, we just weren't really in the game, and when we went in the locker room, we kind of just recollected, and like everyone was like knew that we needed to figure it out and kind of like just like a quick reset. And I think like we just came out hard, a lot more physical, and just kind of hunting pucks, getting them in deep, and kind of keeping it simple off first, and then we just kept building off that. So
When you were able to get it in deep, a couple of times you were able to find some open ice, but their goaltender, he stood on his head all night. What was he able to do to neutralize some of the attacks?
yeah, no, he's really good. He's kind of like he's always fighting for the puck, kind of like Ludwig in a sense, like where he's always battling for the puck. And yeah, he played really well today, and yeah, we just couldn't earn a couple of bounces. So
On the special teams, have been good on the PK, but gave up a couple power play goals. What were they able to do? They've got a good power play unit, but what were they able to do tonight differently?
They just kind of, I think we were good on the PK. It just kind of seemed like the goals that they got were just us a bit like scrambling after like they got a shot off, and we were kind of just scrambling. We weren't just able to clear those pucks. And but overall, I thought we did pretty well on the PK. They got a couple good guys that can snap it around. So
Looking ahead to next weekend, big road trip, tough place to play. What do you do? What do you do to put this behind you and just focus entirely on that next series?
well, I think we just can't look too far in the future and just can't kind of sit on the past. Like we just kind of try to stay in the moment and take what the positives from tonight and try to build off that going into next week practice and then going to North Dakota. So.